Through my involvement with various spiritual communities, it grew evident to me that certain women in these groups seemed to possess a mystical connection to their divine femininity. They were often referred to as goddesses. Intrigued, my further inquiry would reveal these women to either be some type of healer or spiritually connected. I learned that besides having remarkable inner and exterior beauty, they had so much to say, teach, and contribute to the benefit of all. This project serves to illuminate and share their divinity with the world. All beings possess the goddess energy. This film was made to remind us to help and heal one another and to let it shine.
I think a goddess would have beauty, and the beauty doesn't have to be necessarily external, but I think it would be radiating from her like a glow. Poise, definitely poise, confidence in just when you look at her, and a certain fierceness. I think goddesses have something that's very powerful.
I think a goddess is all of that God light inside of any beautiful woman, just being that essence, letting it flow.
Complete empowerment, being comfortable in every level and essence of their being.
As a woman who knows that she's a creator herself and knows that through what she fills herself up with, she is creator body, goddess body.
And so the goddess brings rebirth into the world. It represents starting fresh, starting new, transformation, receptivity, and love, unconditional love.
Woman that accepts everything at that moment how it is. You don't have to be something else, you already are everything. Somebody that embraces her cycles, her moon, her emotions.
Many times we think of a goddess as just a woman. When I think of goddess as being a specific type of energy, and it's about really tapping into that feminine energy, which feminine energy is the energy that's very receptive, it's very nurturing, it's about finding a deep level of understanding.
She's the grandmother, she's the baby. She is ever-changing, always beautiful, always graceful, and the nurturing aspect of the divine on this planet. She is Mother Earth herself, she's this life-giving tree, and she's the wind that blows through the leaves. She is us.
Well, the image of a goddess is one who shows love to all, who's always open for giving and helping others, even when she may not have the time to do so, and someone who's basically offering all that she knows without anything in return.
I see the image of a goddess very much in the same way that I see the image of the divine. Not to say that contemporary goddesses are the same as source of the divine, but in effect they are, because we all are. We all come from that original energy.
The true power and essence of a goddess is loving yourself, is being passionate about your life. It's about being present in your relationships. It's truly just expanding exactly who you are and everything that you are.
She's vulnerable, she's open, she's raw, she's there to listen, she's there to be of service. And this goddess is a temple, it's a sacred temple that walks on the earth. So she energizes and activates the earth. That's the image of a goddess.
The manifestation of all good quality of femininity, positive side of femininity, which is love, caring, sweet, peace.
Every woman that owns her power. It can come in all sorts of shapes, colors,
a woman that allows herself to step into her power.
Is somebody who has this energy that attracts people to her so that she will be helped. People needs help, you know. Probably many goddesses attract the people through their beauty, because when you are beautiful, you're beautiful for everyone.
Is the extension of God, meaning that when you connect with the divine energy and just live by little details, by little examples with that energy through your actions and your intentions, you call that energy. We all are gods and goddesses.
I think it's a woman that's so full of love that just looking at her can make you have a good day.
Having this beauty that comes from within, that shines the light of God and the light of the universe, brings it down through herself and shines it out into the world.
You know that you're searching within the curiosity of discovering your divine, pure being that lies within yourself.
Whether we're meditating or cleaning floors, it doesn't make a difference. I think the essence of a goddess just, it is. And some people let it shine, and some people are still struggling with opening up to that.
You know, and even if you see someone who's really mean and angry, they still have a goddess within them. They just haven't found it yet.
As long as she recognizes it and she walks through that path, and as she walks through the path unfolds, and she has that faith in herself, and there's fear, always there's fear, but she's always knowing to choose faith. That's a goddess to me.
What aspect of the goddess do you see manifesting in your work and life?
Oh my God. What aspects of goddess? I don't know. That's a tough one. I just think it's just one aspect. I think it's just being me. And I don't consider myself a goddess. I'm just a human being, a person that wants to really connect and have a paradise on earth, create paradise here.
My creative expression, my creation in general, I mean, the goddess is the creative energy, and I feel like I'm always creating.
I manifest the mother principle. I manifest the nurturer. And in my generation, there aren't enough women role models. There aren't enough mothers that are really nurturing out in the world. And it's important for us to show it in every action, you know, in how we dress and how we speak.
I feel like I really represent the daughter aspect of a goddess in regards of that I am really doing this work in truth, honest to my heart, for Mother Earth.
I manifest the universe. I would love to have the light, and I want to be the light. So just playing, dancing, singing, smile, the people become happier and healthier.
Well, I try to help people exist at their full potential, to help them empower themselves, to connect to who they really are. If I'm able to do that on any level, I feel like I'm serving. So I think goddesses that just have any slight effect on other people's lives, or the planet, or the oceans, or animals, and there's some level of inspiration.
Always trying my best to help those who are not aware of how easy it is to really take care of their own health by simply eating the foods of the earth and utilizing nature as their source of medicine should they need it.
Sound is something that has become more and more common, and it's just a very powerful modality for expressing a message that is beyond words, that words can't give. So you can use vibration to share that truth, the truth.
And so we are here to be kind and to be open and to reach out. And when we do that, we all be a healer. And we all need a healer, in every family a healer. In every neighborhood a healer. Because that healer will teach many people to emulate them. Because it's not about being special. It's about being available. So that people can learn from you. And this is what a healer is for me.
I have like a goddess of protection. I feel like I'm here to protect like animals is my main, and humans. But like I really have a really strong connection with animals, and like I really feel like a protector of them, like the nature.
If I was an eagle, if I was a bee, if I was an angel, then you would see. If I was a bird, if I was a wasp, if I was a butterfly, then there would be no loss.
I heal people with the elements of the earth. I have personally gotten to know each of the elements very well. I can say I have spent months, years looking at the fire, keeping good company to the fire, and this knowledge that I get, I don't get it from a book, I don't get it because somebody told me. I get it from the fire directly, from the water, from the air, just by spending so much time with them and just by acknowledging them. So when you come to a session, I clean you with these elements and I attune you with these elements, and then I sing to you, I make you very, very comfortable, like if you were in a womb, in the womb of the mother, and that's where I bring you energetically down to the womb of the mother.
So the reason I avoid the gym like the plague, it's been about 12 years I haven't been back, because not only does the gym offer a cooling factor that the body doesn't need during exercise, because your goal is to warm up the body, but you're also using weights in a repetitive fashion that can cause pain in your joints. It can cause inflammation, it can cause arthritis, and even the following day you may have pain in your back or neck. So when you're doing exercise using your own body weight, you're actually becoming stronger with your own body weight's muscles, and your own weight itself is the weight. You can become looser in your joints and have more flexibility when you're doing yoga, for example.
That if we look at just one end of the spectrum and separate it from the other one, and don't see the connection and the beauty of how they dance together, like an accordion that makes music, then we will cut the world from its music. So it is all perfect. It needs to be there. And it's playing itself out, you see. As it contracts and expands, it's already doing what it's supposed to do, which is play this music for us to hear and dance to. And we are all, as human beings, dancing every day with all the experiences that we have, with all that we are creating with our minds.
The type of Tantra that I teach, which is the Tantra of bringing the sexuality and raising it, to use it to catalyze your spiritual process, as well as using your spirituality to bring sacredness into your sexuality. It's about interweaving the two, interweaving your sexuality, your creativity, and your sacredness, and your spirituality and your quest for transformation and spiritual growth.
When we open up the four directions, we are opening up a sacred space. And this sacred space that we open, it is for when we're doing healing work, even in our homes, even in our ceremonies. There's always a time to open these four directions. And what we're doing is we're calling upon the organizing principles. The south, the serpent, we call upon. The west, the jaguar, we call upon to come greet us. The north, the hummingbird. The east, the eagle. And we always go down to Pachamama and to Father Sky. And when we open, then we always close directions. Is when you call upon the directions, when you call upon your allies, all the energetic forces to be with you. And in this moment, as that sacred space opens, I stand there as a holder between the worlds, very grounded with one foot in this world and then with the other foot in the spirit world, seeing the unseen, seeing the times of past, present, and future as everything becomes one, connecting. And in that moment is when great medicine comes through.
My journey, I started with Reiki, and what happened is I was working on a client. I was doing a Reiki session, and all of a sudden my hands turned blue. Bright, big, huge blue hands. I'm looking at my hands, and I could see blue hands on top of mine. And I had knowledge of Archangel Michael. He was my first archangel that I ever worked with, and I called on him all the time for protection and guidance, but I never experienced him. I knew he was there, but I never experienced his energy. And so he showed up in one of my healing sessions, and his hands took over. And from that moment on, I just surrendered that session and let him work through me. And it was the first time that I ever felt the presence of an archangel really guiding me from the inside out and moving with my hands along someone else's body.
I don't really care to know what was anymore. And being somewhere else in the future, I created, so why would I be somewhere else that I'm co-creating right now? So I feel good here. I laugh here. I live here. So that's what I teach, I guide. I have people just remember what that feels like. And then they are clear and confident and so motivated, so willing, so open, and you don't need therapy for that. You just have to go play in that for a little while.
I believe that the Reiki precepts are integral for me in healing myself. To translate them, because they wouldn't mean anything if I spoke them in Japanese, but the precepts are: just for today I will not anger, just for today I will not worry, just for today I will do my work honestly, just for today I will honor all living beings, and just for today I give thanks for my many blessings.
They call me the Empress of Hip Hop. I've been a hip hop artist now for 23 years on stage and been touring for many of those years, and have a great responsibility to be one of the only women in hip hop that's coming with any kind of positive message. The Most High resides in I, and I reside in the Most High. Truth must be recognized. The Most High resides in I, and I reside in the Most High. Throw your hands to the sky. I am the one who birthed the heavens from the womb, and I am what I say and what I do. I am he and she, they and them and you, blood pumping as one, how it was begun. My soul is solely made up of energy like the galaxy, and if I tune the frequency, I'll reach the heavenly. Hence the reasoning, dreaded antennas conducting channeling, pumping adrenaline, flung into oblivion.
Does it take you long to connect? I mean, no. Do you want to try to connect and see if there's anything they want to say?
Sure. I think it'll sound, okay, just give me a minute, let me.
Once in my meditation, I saw the Jesus. I had a question to the Jesus, and I prayed with him, and he came in my meditation. And I saw his beautiful white shining light around him. And when I saw his light, everything became all right. Even I forgot what was my question. I mean, everything became all right. Just see his light. So since that, I manifest the universe. I would love to have the light, and I want to be the light.
And I've got Kuan Yin sitting over my shoulder, and I just felt her touch me with her flower. And she is definitely one of my go-tos as far as my teachers in spirit. She constantly fills my heart and reminds me of her message of being merciful and compassionate, and that the power of love is not to be diminished, and it is not to be... I'm going to just let her speak, so I guess she's the go-to here. There is a goddess in all things. In all life, there is love. And to harness that love and to become it is so powerful, so beautiful, so special. Open your hearts. Be not afraid. Allow that loving vibration to emit from your heart center as though that was the only energy in the entire universe. And as you open your heart center to the light, as you broadcast that love freely in the world, be open to receiving it as well. For there are many who know how to give, but who struggle with receiving that energy, that love. And know that in receiving that love, that is the message of compassion that you give to yourself. That is the gift that you allow your heart to receive. And it is a gift that you give to Spirit working through others to communicate pure, unconditional love through the world back to you.
Compassion, it comes with a strength and faith in humanity. The faith that we can come together in everything that we do, and we can go through all that we are going through right now together and make a difference and be the difference and change ourselves first. You know, look at ourselves in the mirror and love ourselves, because everything comes from that. That is the seed planted. You know, we are divine beings. We are divine souls. We just have to go deep inside and look into that and find it out, so we can all beam together, so you can be the light.
So you can beam the light and be the light, huh?
Beam the light and be the light.
I want to be more helpful without thinking of my time and what I want to do. Like, everything is always about me. And who am I and why am I so special? That I am very special, right? If I don't have that love for myself, then there's nothing I can offer. But what's been happening to me lately is that I'm realizing that even this, what I do that I love so much, can pull me apart from everything that's really important. You know, my family and the love that I can share with you, having an honest conversation, you know? So for me, I'm being pulled away from this and into being out there with people a lot more.
Right.
And not spending so much time dreaming by myself. I gotta go out there and dream with some friends.
Yeah. You can go volunteer one day a month at the soup kitchen for the homeless. I mean, everybody can do their part. Mm-hmm. You can say hello to an elderly person on the street. It will make their day. People don't even realize. Just an energetic exchange of love, because that's what you're given.
Yeah.
You know, to acknowledge them. Like, I see you, I acknowledge you. Little simple things that we've kind of lost a little bit as humans. You know, and that's what I was saying about just remembering who we are.
Yeah.
That we're all connected, and we're all one, really.
And God wants us to be this point of light that He can recognize at all time. Because God, this extraordinary energy, is looking for the point of light. And by helping people, by extending yourself, by being the goddess, the people, because it's people who recognize the goddess in you, by being a goddess, it's your responsibility to shine in the life of people. It's a responsibility to shine in the life of people.
So where I live, a lot of what we consider spirituality comes in the day-to-day work. Just cleaning my house is spiritual, because by cleaning at my house, I'm cleaning my channel, I'm keeping my entire kind of life in a certain amount of order, or just by working together through a community project is a spiritual experience. So it is through the community that we build all the things, and that we create our divine, we start to reassemble these little pieces of divinity that we all are, so that we can then build, connect into bigger currents of energy, of divine energy, of source energy, in those types of ways.
But the key, I think, is it's not in separation anymore. That's been the problem. It's in unifying even your own self. It's unifying your sexuality with your heart and your mental. throw out all the cobwebs and all the locks and all the stuff that religion or your parents or whatever has placed on you and put you into these little boxes and said, no, 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 sex is not divine. Well, yes, it is. And to connect the sexual with the heart, and connect the heart with the sexual, and then connect both those with the divine, and then connect all of that with the support of Mother Earth, and you run on these energies, because the energies are always there. So when I'm dancing, I'm using my energy, I'm using my divinity and my power to push energy around, to clear myself, to embrace my divine self and fill with white light. And I'm getting in touch with my joy and my divine self.
Just respecting the creator's creation. Just simple than that. I don't want to eat something that has been manipulated and killed and reinvented and re-put together and tastes like nothing. And it's not nourished to my body, and it's faking my body, and it's taking all the information out of my cells. I want to connect with life. And what I buy has life in it. It has information from the earth, has information for the person has put love into growing that food, from the sun, from the air, from beautiful little bugs, from butterflies. And that's what I want to put in my system, to connect with that energy. If I connect with food that's been created with a machine, that's what I'm going to get. A blank information, blank, it's nothing there. So it's just empty, empty, and empty. And that's why we never get filled, because we always keep eating that empty food that it does fulfill your taste buds, and destroys them and distorts them. That's part of the distortion. I'd rather have something that is delicious just the way it is, just the way it was created.
It's very important because there's so many external forces that pull us out of ourselves, pull us out of that divine greatness that we are. And by really coming back home into our heart, by recognizing how important it is to have this amazing wisdom from the Mother Earth and for the Father Sky, you get into that rhythm of who you are. And then when you walk on the earth, you walk with that humility, you walk with this respect, you walk with the honor that everything is required, and then you own that towards yourself. So we become that unified force with the earth and with each other. And that's how peace is being created. And it's all starting maybe with tomato.
So it's not surprising to me that science is finding that they can measure the vibrations, and all of these religions have a very similar frequency, and they're all high intensity. And to me that makes sense because it's my experience. That's why I chant in Hebrew, Gurmukhi, Sanskrit, Farsi, Buddhist chants. And I feel like if you say the right words in Spanish, in French, in English, you'll get very similar frequency as well. It's just the intention that you're holding and what that means, what we associate that to mean, if you know what the language is saying.
Waheguru.
All goddesses are healers. What can you teach us to heal ourselves in the world?
Ooh, I like this one.
That's a big question.
It is a big question. But you know, it's actually not that hard, because I think that each of us, in order to heal, there's one thing that has, and I had to learn it myself, so it's not like I was born with it, I had to learn it, is acceptance. When I learned how to accept all parts of myself, even the parts I didn't like, all of a sudden I started to feel myself change, because when I accepted it and I didn't think, oh my God, I'm going to change this because I hate it. I said, no, wait a minute, wait. You know, obviously I was born with this, what could be considered a defect, what could be considered a skill, what could be considered a talent. It could be a talent for something terrible, but I was born with it for a reason. So when I learned to accept that there was a reason for it and accept that it came to me for something, then over time I could easily transform it, because I wasn't doing it out of anger or out of shame or out of any kind of negative emotion. I was transforming because I had found something better. So I didn't think of it. I stopped thinking of myself as a person who had to change. I started to think of myself as somebody who wanted to evolve.
Well, yes, I'm writing a book, and I was initiated as a young child into sexuality and into healing and into bridging the gap between this realm and the other realms through some violent sexual activity that took place. That was my gateway. That was my initiation into being a healer, and even furthermore, a sexual healer at times.
And my own healing has evolved as I have honored the light inside of myself and found a way to communicate with it and to receive messages from it, know that it is divine, and to allow that to unfold and evolve in a way that makes sense for my personal spirit. And I've learned a whole vocabulary for myself, but I don't expect it to be the same for any other person in the world. As a matter of fact, when I've helped other people on their healing journeys, I recognize that the source inside of them has its own unique vocabulary, that finding that vocabulary and allowing it to communicate with you in a way that makes sense is so incredibly powerful.
How do I deal with this pain? What are the other ways, rather than taking a pill to numb out? Making art from it, making songs from it, making a theatrical play, you know, this kind of thing. And learning the art of detachment. A broken heart doesn't have to be a broken heart, and it doesn't have to stay broken. Learning rebirth. These are all the teachings that aren't really taught here in the West. So this is what my heart goes out to all the women, because I know how tough it is. And the pain is the most unbearable pain that anybody could probably ever feel. So I hope that my pain is worth it, and that my exploration and my documenting and my giving it out and me daring to step out of the closet, so to speak, and say, look, this is who I am, this is who I was then, this is what I've been through, this is what I've done in my exploration of trying to find out, where is my goddess? So I pray and I hope and I intend to just put it out there so that it can help. Just help.
My favorite pieces come from very painful experiences. Feeling so sad that you don't really know if you want to take that next step. So when I paint, it's like I think it's the goddess, the higher self, coming down and caressing me and telling me that everything is gonna be okay. And that's what I paint.
I believe that just by finding yourself, finding who you are, at any moment in time, you can heal yourself and you can heal the world. You can be an influence to everybody around you. And you can be that power that lies within. Again, you can be that powerhouse, that lighthouse.
I want to be a lighthouse.
Yes, we all have that power to be the lighthouse.
To be able to find the joy in all that we're doing, in everything that we do, in every choice that we make, in every move that we make in our life, there is a joy in each moment of being aware of the present moment. And it literally is just that awareness of life happening that we most often, just goes right over our head because we're so caught up in what's going to happen next and this and that. And oh my gosh, I remember last time this was so much fun. And the mind is always jumping from the future to the past to, all these different things. What do we want and what we'd rather have? And they're really beyond like doing anything, is just stopping and realizing the perfection of what is happening like right now, right in this moment. There's nothing to worry about in the moment because there's nothing. It's everything and nothing all at once.
Play as much as she can and to not feel fear and to express herself. Tell someone how she feels. Allow herself to be authentic to how she expresses herself, whether it's through art, through dance, through speaking, through writing, finding a direction, a tunnel, an avenue how to express herself. Because from there, that is how she grows into the maiden, the mother, the crone, and the wisdom of that sacredness becomes who she is because she's living that. She's honoring herself, she's expressing herself, she's being who she is, and she's allowing herself to be that okay.
One of the most important things about a healer is just to walk in truth and to walk in beauty, especially for the woman. To walk in truth just means to be able to be yourself like you are in nature. Like when you're with a tree, you can only be yourself. You cannot fake the emotions. And when you are true to yourself, a big healing happens because you free out of all the distortions that you have. When you can really, truly be yourself with somebody or with nature, with something in this lifetime. I think that's really important.
Everything that you are is within yourself. Knowing that you are able to accept all parts of yourself. That everything is part of a great matrix of energy. And this connection that you have with yourself when you go deep inside is something that is an emanating force. It's like a crystal. It's like shining your crystal, shining your light. When you're able to get in touch with that, when you're able to get in touch with that source that lives inside of you, then you're able to be a fountain for the world, to serve and to come with a place of purity, of pure service and compassion towards everyone you meet and every situation in your life.
Because you are what you eat, and you are that consciousness of pure divine wisdom, and through the food you get that consciousness, you get that knowledge. So when you read, and that kind of an external knowledge is great, but when you really get it into your body, you get that knowing. So there's a difference between knowing and owning. So you get that actually owning, you own that wisdom when you put that beautiful consciousness into your body.
If we heal ourselves inside, for example, why we have war, terrorist violence? Because we need to heal the little war inside, the little terrorist inside, the little hatred, the little disease inside in our heart. So if we cure first, automatically reflect the world. So quantum physics, we are all one, right? So the doctor see the patient condition and he bring in his heart and he's looking same problem inside his heart. And he just repeat the mantra, 4 mantra, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. Repeat until you're okay.
I've tried to find that true essence of Namaste, that true essence of I see, I sense, I feel the energy within you, the oneness within us that makes us all the same. And as I heal myself, I heal you. As you heal me. And as we heal together. The world.
If you want to set intentions, that's beautiful. But with every intention, you surrender. And remember to come back and let yourself surrender to your soul, to Divine Spirit, to guide you with that intention. And if it is for the highest good, if it is what's meant to be, then you will float with it forward. But if you feel that it's a push and pull or it's being forced, then take a step back and connect again. Because one thing is trying to do this with our human mind and selves, and another thing is to really fully embrace who we are, connect to that grandness, and create that way. And if we all have a soul purpose, it would be that. To come back to that, and to do that.
So you're raising your God consciousness. You're raising your Kundalini. You're raising you're enlightening yourself. You're raising your level of consciousness and your vibrational level. And if you don't have that, then your healing doesn't come from a profound place. You can't teach healing from books. It needs to come directly from the source. The same way that Jesus healed, the same way that Buddha healed. Any of us who are really healers and who are having a profound effect on the world know that the healing only comes through us and not necessarily from us.
We really start to understand that we're more alike than we are different. And things that separate us, our colors, our flavors, our smells, our beliefs, our religions, everything, if you go deep enough, it comes from the same source. And there is a healing that happens in unifying, in the yoga, in the yoking of ourselves, of our inner selves and our environments, and including the 7 billion people on the planet. When we identify ourselves as one human, breathing and being, manifesting through every hair on your head, every finger, every ounce of you as one, there is a healing and there's a transformation and a radical self-acceptance, a radical love that emerges.
For me, guidance in everything. So it's just when you're conscious of that, I mean, rituals help sometimes. You go through, it's like a training type of a thing till you go to wake up that consciousness in a way. Sometimes you don't need that. But now these days we're so removed from nature, we're so removed from life itself that actually we need to do rituals to turn that little light on again to remind us that it's something more than just physicality, than just here. And when you tap into that energy, the rituals just become a ritual. They don't work anymore because you don't need it, because it's already on you, ingrained in every breath, in every thought, in everything you do, in every choice you make, which that's very important for me. As we're choosing, we're evolving, and we're creating our lives.
Learn to eliminate the things that you don't need, either from your bowels, from you urinating, sweating, coughing, getting it out of your system. Also to eliminate the people that may be causing stress or discomfort in your life. You don't have to live with pain. I didn't start over. I just thought of my ex-husband.
The real war within us is our higher self versus our lower self. For women and for men, it's conquering, not even conquering, but overstanding how to balance emotion. So that's what we're working toward. They call it the heart chakra. But when we can bring our lower selves together with our higher selves and balance it out right here, that's what we call ma'at as well, true balance in life. And that comes from knowledge of self. That means you have to go into yourself to find yourself, to know yourself, to find balance for yourself. When you find balance for yourself, you are your world, you are your universe. So your whole life becomes balanced. Your world becomes balanced if you become balanced. And then it spreads, to others.
We all are healers. every one of us. The beauty of being a shaman is that I love my karma because it allows me to help people, to teach people, to see them, getting beautiful and flowering, and I see these people open up, and this is the beauty. And I thank God for allowing me to do my work. This is a healer is somebody very simple that is available for the need of the people. That's what a healer is.
If being self-empowered and gone on the journey of self-discovery and healing, and it doesn't mean that you've got to go to India and meditate at a temple for 6 months. It doesn't mean any of that. You could do it in your own, in your own home, in your own life. Then I guess the label of goddess maybe comes into it. So are all goddesses healers? If you get to the point of self-empowerment, you're absolutely going to help others empower themselves, whether you're a practicing healer, hands-on healer or not. It doesn't matter. If you got to get to the point of self-empowerment and you're helping others through whatever, through song, through art, through anything, then I think that's the way to be able to be in the position to get labeled as a goddess.
Yeah, I guess my main teaching is about freedom, like the name of the band, Free Like Me, and just be free and you'll be healed. The main thing that makes us sick is oppression and feeling like we're in a prison of ourself, our own mind, and it's just like our main thing, the prison is mainly our thoughts, and it's ourselves. No one else is judging you except yourself, really. Everybody thinks everybody's talking about them, but they're the only voice that really matters is in their head. And healing by freeing yourself and being who you want to be is my healing thing.
Personally, thank you for watching my film. I'm working on getting it out there to as many people as possible and would greatly appreciate your sharing this film on social media and with your friends. Please like the Goddess Healer page on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube page where you watch this film, and share the website so others can see the film at goddesshealers.com. Truly, making this film was a life-changing experience, and I've grown tremendously in the process of completing it. I'm currently working on a counterpart to this film about men called Spiritual Mavericks. I also hope to do a second Goddess Healer movie and would like to keep you updated and involved. Any suggestions, connections, or opinions are greatly appreciated. Namaste, Jeffrey.